composer who's made the greatest impact of any American composer. And the irony of this, John, is that nobody uses consistently your system of chance operations to compose their music, yet you have this enormous impact. And I think that's a very interesting fact. Maybe we can talk about that.
Wouldn't you say that what we're dependent on is called reality? And what we don't like, we consider an intrusion in our life. Consequently, I feel that what's happening is that we're continually being intruded upon. That would make us very unhappy. Or we surrender to it and call it culture. What would be an intrusion on your life, for instance, that you would call culture? This weekend I was on the beach. Yes. And on the beach these days, transitory. Yes. Where now rock and roll. Yes. Yes. And you didn't enjoy it? No, it didn't. I adjusted to it. How? By saying that, well, I thought of the sun and the sea as a lesser evil. Well, you know how I adjusted to that problem of the radio in the environment. Very much as the primitive people adjusted to the animals which fighted them, and which probably, as you say, were intrusions. They drew pictures of them on their caves, and so I simply made a piece using radios. Now, whenever I hear radios, even a single one, not just 12 at a time, as you must have heard on the beach, at least, I think, well, they're just playing my piece. That might help you next weekend. Yeah, and I listen to it with pleasure. By pleasure, I mean, I notice what happens. I can attend to it rather than, as you say, surrender. I can rather pay attention and become interested in the, well, what it actually is that you're interested in is what superimposes what. What happens at the same time, together with what happens before and what happens after. Yes, but I can't think unless thought is something of the past. The other night I met some friends in a place which I'm very nostalgic about. I used to go there and talk a lot. No one could hear each other. Because of this? Because of this. Yeah. Well, this brings up the remark of Satie's that what we need is music which will not interrupt the noises of the environment. What we need is music which will not interrupt the noises of the environment.
Through a podcast. So here goes. I downloaded Audacity.
By Christopher Laurer, an aptly titled In Search of Duende. We tuned in last month to discuss some translation theory and apply that theory along with Pablo Neruda's sonnets. Today we're going to focus more on inspiration, influence,
Skype in the classroom, and I agree that it would be a huge potential for students to
time travel. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, hey, welcome to the Should I Worry About This podcast, where we talk about things that we worry about. And
revisiting edifice will explain to us how the theorizing of one of the most influential psychologists of all time was influenced by the trauma of his own life, and because it gives us more opportunity to pat ourselves on the back.
Right.
Thanks very much for being with us.
Nice to be with you.
So he put together, you write the same
Bush v. Carey, you may remember it,
Oh,
2004.
I remember it well.
Yeah. So Boston's quite a political.
It's funny. He's like, why are these people doing this? Like, it doesn't. It's kind of stupid. They think it's like stupid.
A group of teachers with a similar idea, similar need for professional development, and you can use that to your benefit.
Translated to English, duende means spirit, according to the famous Andalusian musician Manuel Torre, and quoted by Lorcan as well.
Yeah, I mean, that's, Democrats lose when they're reduced to depending on just those two counties.
Especially because we like just started high school, so we're meeting a lot of new people. So you would comment on someone's photo who you're not really super close with or that you don't know really well, and it's sort of a statement.
I almost took it personally. Oh, I like it. Actually, I did take it personally. I was offended.
I was in Washington D.C. working.
Competitive with suburban voters, and they, in the Obama election, we saw he did well. He won a lot of counties. So this is a familiar map in a Republican kind of victory scenario, and it also does kind of.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, and the lows are like, up in almost to the 40s these days.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Mark Weaver, our engine.
Commenting on it, they haven't commented yet. It's been X amount of time, they still haven't liked it.
It's this kind of like shallow, like, why are you not?
Is he a really good politician?
He definitely has impressive political skills. I don't know if it's sort of.
And that was pretty easy. And once I figured out how to start recording,
Real BeBes for sure. Yeah. Real people retweeting his crazy, misogynistic, racist, xenophobic, climate change denying nonsense. And
Motions of love, I'm a New York correspondent who thinks every American has at least one thing to be thankful for on Thursday night.
it's just a great connection, and that's what students really need, is a great connection.
I don't know. Okay, so I don't think so though. But let's talk about it. So here's something that's interesting. So I titled
Live streaming of web TV in the classrooms, and yeah, that can be good. There can be some glitches.
1988 presidential election. Trump has been considered a potential candidate for president in nearly every election.
that's crazy. Because he said in the last election, he was like, no, I'm not running. Like, he actually was.
So here's the thing. So in early 2011, Trump began to take the lead in polls among Republican candidates for the 2012 election, and he eventually did say he wasn't running. But a Wall Street Journal NBC News poll from March 20.
Actually, if I get a comment from someone I care about, I think it makes me feel good.
With its absolutely integral association with human history.
Like double tap.
Yeah.
And like it doesn't.
I like everything on my phone.
Like it just doesn't like, and that's what people are doing to your photo. But like it's
Well,
still.
I think there was, Democrats were less enthusiastic and motivated in this election. Again, part of this is sort of.
There'll be radio photographs for the famous Admiral exclusive features, slide away that makes loading and unloading.
I've now climbed all the way up into double digits for one or two shows. So we're doing a little bit better these days.
Our modern society.